The extreme weather causes several mudslides. We'll show you video of the destructive storm.
And you, the viewers, have been sharing with us how the heavy rains have affected your homes and lives. We'll have more of your personal accounts.
Live in high definition from KVA-KTV in Bakersfield, this is a special edition of Eyewitness News.
Good evening. Heavy rain hitting Kern County today, causing flooding and mudslides.
We do have team coverage of the severe weather we've all been experiencing. Chief Meteorologist Miles Muzio is in the Weather Center tracking the storm cell. But let's start with Eyewitness News reporter Matt Boone, who is live at a mudslide at the Grapevine. Matt?
Rochelle, we're standing here on I-5 South, just past Grapevine Road, and let me tell you, the scale of this mudslide was pretty staggering. I trotted through it earlier. The mud went all the way up to my knees. Behind me, we got a lot of vehicles still up here. Most of these at this point are tow trucks and also big empty container trucks ready to get that mud out of here. For the latest information, I'd like to bring in the CHP's Public Information Officer, Adrian Garcia. Come on in, sir. So tell us a little bit about what happened this afternoon. When did these mudslides first hit?
At approximately 3 p.m. today, our area experienced some heavy rainfall, which resulted in we had 3 slides on the northbound side of the freeway, 3 mudslides, as well as 2 mudslides on the southbound side. Those mudslides caused, as you can see, heavy traffic delays. We had quite a few vehicles that were stuck in the mud. And a few accidents as well.
What is the current status of the cleanup? Any estimation when this road will be open?
Unfortunately, no, we don't have that estimation. The northbound side is clear of all vehicles. There's no vehicles stuck on the northbound side, but there are a lot of rocks and a lot of mud on that side. On the southbound side, right behind us, we do have approximately 25 vehicles and big rigs that are still stuck in the mud. We're trying to help them get unstuck and get them back on their way. As soon as we get the roadway clear of all vehicles and people, then we'll have a better idea of how quick maybe the cleanup will be. But it'll be a lot easier once we get everybody off the roadway.
What's currently being done to clear? Do you have backhoes? What kind of equipment is being used?
Exactly. We have the skip loaders, the backhoes, anything we can to get these boulders, this mud out of the way. There's a lot of tow trucks up here trying to help people get out of the mud that were stuck. And the CHP personnel as well. And people just helping each other with shovels and trying to get each other out.
Yeah, it's a tough time up there. I was up there earlier. If people are trying to get through here, what is the best alternate route?
Well, I understand the Highway 58 is closed. They have some mudslides as well. Probably the best route is the 101 to go around that way. But if you don't have to travel tonight, don't. Just stay home. Check your weather in the morning. Check 1-800-GAS-ROAD. Or also the CHP has their own website, CHP Traffic Conditions. That gives a lot of information. It comes right from our dispatch and tells people what's going on in the areas they're going to be traveling.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. As you just heard, a long night ahead for cleanup. I saw about 3 to 4 dozen or so vehicles stuck up there as I was walking around. I spoke to a bunch of people. A lot of them were on their way to the Dodgers game. Unfortunately, they missed that. Some people were actually live streaming it in their cars. I saw some guitars out. People were kind of actually socializing, so there was a lighter element to it. But when I spoke to people about what happened when the rain started pouring, they say it came down fast and it came down hard.
It was a downpour. Everybody just trying to scatter. Everybody started slowing down to about 2 miles an hour, and everything came to a screeching halt.
I was driving. It didn't take even 3 seconds. I feel like the car is going up and down. Find out there's a rock under my car. Suddenly got stuck. Couldn't go further.
What was your initial reaction?
I just waiting for a miracle, maybe get off of this. It was scary.
So there's definitely some movement behind me. Cars and trucks are getting out of here. That first man that you saw just there, Emmanuel, I actually just saw him drive out of here. But for everybody else who is stuck in this, they're slowly trying to get people out of here. And as the officer said, if you're trying to get through here, try and avoid this at all costs. Cleanup will be going on through the night. We're live on the Grapevine. Matt Boone, Eyewitness News. Back to you guys.
Matt, thank you for that. Grapevine, not the only place where there's problems tonight. Eyewitness News has been on the phone with some folks who are stuck out on the 58 the last hour. Reporter Kyle Harvey has more on what those folks are seeing out there. Kyle?
Well, that's right, Dave. We've been in touch with a Bakersfield man that's stuck right now on westbound 58. He's been there about 3 hours, just a couple of miles from the CHP way station. It's between Mojave and Tehachapi. I'm just going to let you listen in on bits and pieces of the conversation that I just had with him a few minutes ago on the phone. We've got the pictures you're about to see from Melissa Martinez and Sean Holloway. Sean is the one you're hearing on the phone.
Traffic came to a standstill, and the next thing I know, I'm watching water start to gradually creep up. It got to about 2 foot where I'm at, and then when the rain stopped, everybody started getting out of vehicles. Well, I could see up above me, they were lifting children over the center divider to put up in diesel. We had mudslides in front and back of me to the point where you had vehicles that were getting slammed into diesels and pushed up onto the hoods. You have vehicles that are almost completely underneath mud and water. I can see they're going to have wreckers pull apart vehicles that are in front of me that the mud pushed together like tin cans. The water's dissipated where I'm at, so they're standing on top of, mud and debris. But behind me and in front of me, people behind me can't get out because the water's still there, whereas in front it's all mud. There's probably 200 cars in both directions that are stuck. I don't know that anything can happen. I just hope that nobody got seriously injured that I'm not aware of, or anybody lost their lives in this. And I just pray that everybody gets out safe and that we all get home to our families, man.
And again, the pictures you just saw there were from 2 miles away from the CHP way station on westbound 58 between Mojave and Tehachapi. We will be staying in touch with Sean and bring you any updates on these conditions as soon as they're available. Live in studio, Kyle Harvey, back to you.
Kyle, thank you. People driving the rural roads in the Lamont area had to be rescued from their cars when they got stuck in floodwaters. There were numerous road closures in and around Lamont where 2 inches of rain fell in less than an hour. The CHP, along with Kern County Fire Department and the Sheriff's Office, were out helping those drivers whose cars got stuck in the middle of those flooded roadways.
Coming from Bakersfield over to Arvin to my parents' house, this particular street, I've never seen this flooded. So I didn't think it to be too deep, but it was. I think when I went through, it was maybe about 2 to 3 feet.
The good news is so far that there have been no reports of any injuries. So now let's turn our attention to Chief Meteorologist Miles Musio. He's been tracking these storms all day. Miles?
That's right, Rochelle. The good news is that all the rain is over for now. You can see all of the heavy precipitation has now moved up into Tulare County, where they had some flooding issues of their own. That has now moved well out of the Kern County area, and the last little vestige of the severe thunderstorm over Mojave earlier has now made its way past Weldon and the Kernville area, so we're pretty much done. And there's nothing really upstream that's going to be coming through later tonight, like we had last night. We had all that nocturnal thunderstorm activity. Heaviest rainfall, and it's not so much the rainfall, it is the rainfall rate. How many inches per hour were falling. And there are some spots right over here, anywhere between 4 and 6 inches per hour falling just to the west of Lancaster. And of course, here's the Lamont area, lots of rain there. Right now in town, we're looking a little bit better, currently 72 degrees outside. And our high temperature today, 83, we had 600 inches of rain. Here's a shot from Lamont. This is from Johnny Watson. You can see the rain inside the school there, because we've had a lot of flooding. And look at some of these totals. Leona Valley down in Los Angeles County recorded over 3.5 inches of rain. Poppy Park, maybe you know where that is, just to the west of Lancaster, 2.37. Here's Lamont at 2:30. Delano and Rosamond picked up a lot of rain as well. And what's interesting is that Lamont had so much rain, but Arvin only 3/800ths of an inch, and so it depended exactly where you were at. At the base of the Grapevine, they picked up about a ½ inch of rain. Most people didn't see the torrential downpours that caused all the mudslides. But other spots picked up 6,500ths of an inch up in Gorman, Tehachapi 4/10ths of an inch. So the heavy rains of 2 to 3.5 inches are now over. The average rainfall was about 1/4 of an inch for most people. We're going to see some lingering showers tomorrow in the mountains, all the way through Saturday night, in fact. And we could see some locally heavy rains again tomorrow in the mountains. Temperatures today got up into the 80s across the region. It's 72 right now, 59 in Tehachapi, if you can get there. And look at the dew points. The dew points are up into the mid to upper 60s. Tropical humidity out there. You can feel it. It really feels kind of thick. And so here's the low pressure system that caused all this. It is now moving to the east of us. We're going to be seeing a better weather, but still a chance for showers, especially in the mountains. We go through tonight, things have cleared out. We go to tomorrow afternoon, right about 5, 6 o'clock, you can see a few showers in the mountains. And then we clear out, and then even on Saturday, we're looking at a few showers developing in the afternoon. So we're not completely done yet with the shower activity in the mountains. Overnight lows will be in the 60s, and highs tomorrow getting up to around 84 degrees with a 30% chance for afternoon thunderstorms in the Kern County mountains. We're looking at lows in the 50s and highs tomorrow getting up into the 70s with a chance for thunderstorms there too. Here's what we got. Temperatures up into the 80s for tomorrow, and looks like it'll be dry for the weekend.
Whoa, thank goodness.
Yeah, all right, thanks, Miles.
And as the rain continues to cause some flooding out there, a lot of roads, I should say, are closed around the county.
Yeah, we have Tammy Conrado with the Caltrans on the phone with more information on which roads you should avoid, maybe some alternative routes as well. Tammy, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, what can you tell us? What are the roads? We obviously know Grapevine, 58, but what are some of the roads around town that we should avoid?
Well, within Bakersfield, we do have 99 completely open at this time. Again, with the Grapevine being closed, it's really impacting traffic. We were diverting traffic earlier in the day to 58. However, 58 is also closed westbound at Mojave and eastbound at 202 due to additional mudslides there. Eastbound 166 at 33 was closed due to severe weather and flooding in the area, but it has now reopened. The only alternative route that we can offer folks if they are continuing south towards the LA area would be 46 to the 101 and then along the coast down south.
And tell me, do you know anything about those folks on the 58? We're having a little bit of an issue trying to get some good information on whether folks are just still stranded out there. Have you heard anything?
I have not heard specifics about folks stranded out there, but our crews are out there working diligently to try to clear the roadway. Unfortunately, with 4 different slides, you know, the highway itself is pretty impacted.
Are you worried at all, Tammy, about just the structural road conditions after all of these rocks? We saw big boulders, we saw a lot of mud. Just if they're going to be safe, are you guys going to be out there inspecting that?
We will definitely be out there inspecting it, and just to ensure the integrity of our roadways, yes.
Can you remember any time you've seen something like this, Tammy?
Not in my time, no, I haven't. But luckily, I mean, obviously it's not a good situation, but our crews, especially on the Grapevine, you know, they deal with these on an annual basis because of the winter conditions and snow closures over the Grapevine. So not only our Kern County Caltrans maintenance crews, but also LA County Caltrans maintenance crews in cooperation with CHP. Right now during the road closure, we have Kern County out there assisting us, as well as Griffith Construction Company that was on a nearby construction project. They are also out there assisting in getting the roadway cleared as soon as possible.
All right, Tammy, thank you so much.
All right, Tammy Conrado with Caltrans.